Hi, Mox Pops. Well, I thought it was time that we should hang out again. I enjoyed it last time, it's been a while. So I've put a record on the disc. It's spinning around now, warming up for us. And in a second or two, or a minute or whatever, I'll load the pickup and we'll listen to some lovely music. Today it's this album. For those who don't know it, hello. For those who don't know it, this is Opeth, and the band is called Opeth. The album is called Heritage, and they are hailing from Sweden, Stockholm, Sweden. And this is, well, it's just a great album. Let's talk more about it when it's on. So, get your best tobacco. I'm smoking Balkan Sobrani today. Having a cup of coffee. I'll make some more on the way, I'm pretty sure. And my pipe is ready. Matches, tamper. And let's see what happens. Here we go. Yeah, I'm lowering the pickup as we speak. I speak, you don't speak, I speak. I'm out of frame, I know, I'm here. Hello. Oh, well, I almost fell over because I'm a big old fat guy. So, well, the reassuring sound of an LP crackling away. So, I was actually talking to a friend the other day about the paper on top of a tin of tobacco. We noticed that on tobaccos from GLPs or other American tobacco manufacturers, that the paper didn't take color, and it sort of, it didn't throw us, but we just wondered why. And it's not a rant or anything, it's just an observation. And we just sort of talked about why that was. And Thomas, as the guy is called, he thought that the paper was treated with some kind of wax or something, and that could be. Or, as I said, well, GLP's tobacco is pretty dry, so perhaps that's why it doesn't leave any evil sauce on the paper. So, unpacking the pipe now. Oh, it's crackling away. I haven't removed that lid enough. Doesn't matter. So, Opeth normally is mostly known for being a sort of progressive death metal band. But fear not, my loyal companions, or whatever you are. This is more of a rock album. It's more of 70s rock. Prog rock. So, no evil growls or anything, or shredding guitars. Just 70s rock. They've always been sort of dabbling in the more melodic and 70s proggy thingy. But I guess now they thought it was time that Michael Okerfeld, who's writing music, I'm going all out, it's him singing now. So, It's been a long while since I've done a video. I did 2 yesterday or something like that. Someone's probably thinking, wonderful, that guy's gone. Others are, you nice guys. Thinking, what happened? Why were you gone? Well, I just had other things to do. Turn that a bit now. 1 second. No, I'm not satanic. When you think what people sing in their lyrics doesn't become me, they're wrong. So just because he's saying God is dead doesn't mean that I think that. You'll never know what I think. Well, I've been away for a month or so, not making any videos. I've been working a lot, been busy at work. A lot of long hours, a lot of phone calls, giving lectures, marking essays and all that stuff. But most important, I got a new guitar. Yeah, I like that. I got a Paul Smith Custom 24. And it turned out to be a bit of a hassle to get the right one. For those who don't play guitar, Paul Reed Smith is probably one of the most intelligent, high-skilled, meticulous, nitpicky guitar manufacturer there is. Yeah, the tobacco is pretty wet. I should have dried it out, but I didn't. So I'm probably going to relight. Also, I talk a lot. So to get the guitar I wanted, became somewhat of a quest or a task. So I've done a lot of research, read all kinds of articles, read all kinds of papers on Mr. Smith, seen everything there is to see on YouTube on Paul Reed Smith guitars. And, well, it's a pretty expensive guitar, so I had to make sure that I got the right one for me. And it's sort of odd because they aren't really guitars that are around in the shops in Denmark. First time I saw one was about 25 years ago. So I was a teenager. And I just can't keep this thing lit today. And you had to go to one store in town who had it. I'm in Aarhus, the second largest city in Denmark. Population 275,000. I know it's not a lot, but it is Denmark, and we're only about 5.7 million. So, hey, it is what it is. So you had to go to this one store who had one guitar, and it was in this glass display, and we weren't allowed to touch it. And I covered that guitar so much. I covered it so much. I really wanted that. But hey, it wouldn't make sense because at that time I was a bass player. I had no confidence I had no confidence. Well, I didn't believe enough in myself to play the guitar, so I settled. Nothing wrong with bass guitars, guys. It's a cool instrument. I love it. But I settled for the bass because, well, I didn't think I had it in me. So, but Jesus Christ, I love that guitar. I wanted it so bad. And now, 25 years later, I have one. And it's been an amazing journey. It took all of my strength. I was as some of you know, when in school, when you learn how to read and write, in this Denmark we have something called dictation, and that is when I read out a text, and the kids have the text in front of them, and some words are left out, and they need to fill in those words left out. One day I was giving a lecture where I was giving dictation. I read out the same line 3 times because I was just thinking about getting that guitar. I was dealing with this guy, and I had to sell a guitar, and in order to have enough money to pay for it. But it all turned out great. I got the thing. So, you want to see it? Well, do you? You feel lucky, little boy? I do. I'll get it. Here we go. That is my Paul Reed Smith Custom 24. So what do you play in that bad boy? I play death metal. Evil, slow death metal. Low tuned, and oh my god, I like it. But enough on that guitar. I just wanted to show you, it's actually the first time I've shown it off. Look at the wood grain, look at that. That maple top, oh my god. Oh, and the one of the great pleasures of vinyl. The pickup skipping and now sounding distorted. I'm gonna sort that out. Yeah, here we go. Whoa, not sounding good, not sounding good. Got it. Oh, it's got a major scratch in its body. Okay, well, I guess I'm flipping the record around. Side B. Let's hope we'll have a little more luck this time. Sorry about that. Here we go. So, well, back to the story. So I got the guitar, and it took up all my time. Also, work was really busy, and so was bands and all that. Um, you music nerds out there, this track is called Slither. And it's a bit happy and upbeat for Opeth, but it's actually a tribute to the late great Ronnie James Dio, singer who sang in Elf and Rainbow. Some will know. You can hear the guitar is very reminiscent of Richard Blackmore's playing, especially the solo is so Blackmore. He later continued on to sing in Black Sabbath, one of my all-time favorites, and then solo as well in his own band Dio. Well, that's a tribute to him. So, well, got the guitar, back to the story. And is it worth the money? Was it worth the struggle? Oh my god, yes. What a guitar, it's amazing. I haven't been that happy about getting an instrument ever as I've been with this. This is just, well, this is my guitar. I have had a lot of other great instruments, but this is just. I know now why Paul Reed Smith is what he is. So, well. Solo. Well, the turntable's flipping up. Let's have a look at that. Yeah. Sorry, back again. I guess somebody's small fingers have been playing with the adjustment knobs for the speed of the turntable. It was sort of not there at all. Oh well. Well, so with all my time spent on guitar, work, family, bands, I haven't really had time to make videos. Some of you might like that, saying, hey, good riddance, that guy's gone. Hopefully some of you are happy that I'm back. Well, what else is new? I've got a lot of tobacco. A lot of GLPs, and among other things I got Gaslight by GLPs, and I opened it and I just couldn't get myself to smoke it. The Perique was just so overpowering. vinegar or whatever. It had that, normally you get at McClellan's, ketchup smell. And oh, I just didn't want to smoke it. So I opened this bad boy up, the Balkan Sobrani. Some will know I did a video on it where I wasn't too impressed. Nice piece to see. Really nice. I love playing stuff like that. Well, and I wasn't too impressed with the Balkan Sobrani. It's not a bad tobacco. It's just that, well, I didn't know what I was expecting because it's so legendary, but it's very, very mild. It's almost got no taste. And I've read a lot of people says that it stinks in the room. It doesn't. It smells fine. It's sure, it's Latakia. It will smell of Latakia, but what did you expect? It's Latakia. How many times can you say Latakia? Latakia, Latakia, Latakia. But it's fine. It's really fine. But nothing more than fine. I would just as well smoke Dunhill 965 or Rat's Race Red Reverie, just as good. Vintage Syrian by McBaron. Doesn't taste the same, but it's good as well. Actually, it's number one. Nice album, such a good album. So, and I've as I bought no new pipes. But I'm going to design a pipe and have it made by a guy in my pipe club who is a fabulous pipe maker. He's so good. He's called Carsten Idskov. Idskov, I think you'd say in English. Idskov Pipes, I-D-S-K-O-V. So search for, though it's an old website, it's so old, but search for Idskov Pipes, I-D-S-K-O-V Pipes. He makes small fat pipes, so I guess they're kind of pipe version of me. I like his stuff. So I guess that record actually needs to be cleaned. Sounded like it skipped. The pickup skipped. Oh well, not today. So I'm designing a pipe, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a bulldog, a small, fat, stubby bulldog. We were discussing the bowl size the other day, and I like rather big bowl sizes, but Carsten wouldn't hear it. No, he said, you're not getting like a 23mm or something like that. No way. 19 or 20 at most. It's fine by me. But anyway, looking forward to start designing a pipe. I've been looking a bit at what kind of bulldogs I like. I really like the rat race bulls and dogs bulldog I have. I also like the Paul Winslow bulldog I have. It's nice too. It's big, but it's a big pipe. And I really like Chow, this bulldog. But apparently I haven't seen any of Carsten's Isco's pipes bulldogs. But apparently he's very good at it. So I'm looking forward to see those. Oh my god, this is just so bad. Shut up! Sorry about the shouting. I guess that album is pretty dirty. Sorry about that, a bit embarrassing, but anyways. Martin Mendez, the drummer, or bass player, he's so great. He's one of the best bass players in my opinion. He really knows what the bass player should do. He's just in the pocket, which means he's in there with the drummer and him to have this big groove on. Being the link between the guitars, between the guitars and the drums and the keyboard. And he just plays these lovely melody lines. It's just amazing. Anyway, sorry. So I'll be designing a bulldog. And I hope that I can make a little film on the process. That will only be the design process, because Carsten is going to make it without me being there. Although I actually can do woodwork, but he's a bit better than me. But that's it. So that's going to be pretty cool. Anyway, what else? And then winter is here, and winter in Denmark is as always crappy. We did have a fairly long time with snow and frost, and now the snow is gone. So what has happened that we had a long time with just sort of the snow melting during the day and then freezing during the evening and night. So we had this impasse where the snow is sort of still there, sort of not, and when you live in that city centre as I do, it's just this mush, and you walk in and your shoes and pants get wet, and it's just dreadful. I hate it. But now it looks like the snow's gone. That's good. Do you have a favorite pipe? Your pipe maker? I really like Peter Jefferson. Oh, and I like this goes well. It's really good. I haven't really been into buying pipes lately. As I told you, I was playing the guitar, but also all of a sudden I had a lot of pipes. And well, I came to the conclusion, why not save your money and use them on something you need, such as a new and very expensive guitar. But because I stopped buying pipes for a month only, I had the money for the guitar. That's so Opeth. That's Michael Okerfeld, the lead singer and guitarist. He's not the lead guitarist, but he plays his lovely melodic solos as well. He actually plays Paul Reed Smith. Yeah. Sounds nice. That warm, mid-focused, rich tone, so Paul Reed Smith. So I'm gonna flip the record, we're gonna put record 2 on. It's a double album, and I'll be right back, and then we're gonna talk about Throckmorton, especially Throckmorton Cellar, which I reviewed. Right back. I'm right back. So, and now you're shouting at me, Morton. That's my real name. Mox, clean that LP better than the last one. And I will try to. So, this is side 3 of almost dropped it, Heritage. And we're gonna start out with Famine, which is a lovely track. And then there's gonna be Lines in My Hand and Folklore and Marrow of the Earth. And then we're done. So, cleaning. No, well, whoops. Oh, I'm not awake. We were drinking wine last night, and we're going to be drinking wine again tonight, I think. A mate of mine, a guitarist from a few other bands, he's popping by. We're going to drink wine, have some whiskey, smoke some pipes, talk about guitars. So, well, Frogmorton, and I'm even out of coffee as well. Well, I'll talk about Frogmorton and then I'll put the kettle on. I reviewed Frogmorton a month ago, something like that. Frogmorton Cellar. And I really didn't like it. I read a lot about it and nah, it wasn't me. What put me off the most was smell. Not when you smoked it, that was fine, but from the jar, the tin. It's a Frogmorton cellar, and I know the story is that it's kept in casks and blah blah blah, and you get a piece of cask wood from the cask in each tin, and it's a lovely gimmick and all that, and it's a fine tobacco, nothing wrong with the quality. I just couldn't stand that sweet smell of that sort of liqueur-like whiskey, bourbon, whatever they sprinkle it with. It was too sweet and nauseating. But what I found out is that if you smoke it along with an Irish coffee, it's fine. So I paired it with that, which gave me an excuse to start having more Irish coffees, which isn't the worst things. What is the worst thing you can do? Though I don't have the whipped cream, I don't really. It's too fatty for me, even though I'm a chubby guy. Whipped cream is very quickly becomes too fatty for me, so I actually have it with milk, but I warm up the milk. I always do that with my coffee, and that is fine. So that's so I could smoke Frogmorton like that. That's fine. Subject change. I'm just rambling today. Sorry. I don't think I should be going driving now. I must still be feeling it from yesterday. Anyway, talking about driving, talking about cars. I lost a hubcap about 3 weeks ago. Normally I have nice rims on the car in the summertime, but during winter it's so bad here that we need to have winter tires. and I don't have them on alloys. I have them on steel rims. So, and I need to put on a hubcap, and the car looks stupid. Anyway, I got some fairly okay, nice black hubcaps. Suits the car. And branded hubcaps, so yeah. Nice riff. I like that. What makes it good actually it's what has the distortion in the growl. It's the bass, and it's just such a nice sound. And of course, the Hammond as well, the organ. Just that was, by the way, how Deep Purple got the things to sound so raunchy. That John Lord, blessed be him, he's gone, would double Richie Blackmore's guitar lines, so they would sound thicker and heavier, more raunchy. And a lot of people think that the grit in Deep Purple is coming from the guitar, but Blackmore was playing a Stratocaster, and let's not beat around the bush. Stratocaster is a bit of a flimsy guitar when it comes to rock and heavy rock, like hard rock. Not like hard rock, 80s hard rock, but I'm talking like 70s hard rock, that kind of style. Strats are fine. Gilmour is amazing with the Strat. I've never been a Blackmore fan, so what made Deep Purple sound thick and heavy, I guess, was that John Lord doubled the guitar line on the Hammond. And that's what they did here as well. Nothing wrong with getting ideas from the masters. I like this riff really. It's sort of the tempo that my band On is playing in. It is the tempo. We are really slow. We are not in a hurry. I like this. It sounds like a riff that I would write as well. It's very Black Sabbath-y. Oh well, back to the hubcap. So I was driving and got home one day, and turned out, Jesus Christ, I lost a hubcap. And it's not like you can buy one hubcap. You need to buy 4. So I had to get a new set of hubcaps, and I didn't want to buy the same set of hubcaps that I had on already. I wanted to change. So I got these new Sparko hubcaps, which is sort of like race. Sparko is like Momo if you like cars. They make parts, race car parts. So I got these Sparko ones, and to be honest, they weren't as nice as the other ones, but well, I thought, hey, let's just change it up a bit. And I couldn't get the damn thing on. The fit was so tight, and I would like pinch my fingers, and just it just pissed me off. And sometimes I'm a bit of a hothead. I got a temper. So I couldn't get the thing on, and I just ended up kicking it. Trying to kick it on. Yeah, intelligent. I know. And of course, it broke. So now I was left with like 3 old hubcaps and 3 new hubcaps. What to do? So I decided that I would leave the old hubcaps on one side, on the left side. That's the old hubcaps, the nice ones, sort of classier. And I would have the new Sparko hubcaps, a bit racier, on the right side. So right now I'm driving around town in my little thing of a car. It's a Mini. It's out, yep. But it's one of the faster ones. And it's nice, and it's not girly at all. It drives amazingly. It's such a good ride, and I don't drive the family car. I drive something fun. So So I got myself a Mini a few years ago, and it's fine. It's fast. It's super fast in corners and stuff like that, and it's fun. So I got 2 different kinds of hubcaps on. Yeah, I'm an idiot, I know. But this idiot needs more coffee, so I'm going off frame again. Now I'm going this time because that's where the refrigerator is. And I'm gonna pour myself some milk, because I drink milk in my coffee. And I'm gonna whack it in the microwave for a few seconds so it's warm. I like warm milk in my coffee. And I'm gonna boil some water. I'll keep talking. So now it's just one big noisy thing, and we like it. We like the noise. Bring the noise. I'm here. Just need the spoon, yeah, for coffee. And yes, I'm drinking instant. Nothing wrong with instant coffee, as long as you buy the good stuff. You need to buy, if you buy instant coffee, buy Nescafe Espresso. It's sort of a fine powder, and it's so much better. It actually creates that creamy top, and it's thicker than normal Nescafe. So that's good coffee. I drink a lot of other types of coffee. Normally I drink French press. I think you can see what's over here. The top of it is there, drying out. Do some dishwashing, and there's nothing wrong with that. And sorry for the noise. The kettle is on, and the microwave's on, and music. So I actually tried the Copy Levac coffee. I bought a pound of it. It's not worth the money. It's really, really good. No doubt about it. But it's not worth the money. So, with all the chaos going on, I'm gonna flip the record for the last time, and we're on the home stretch. 2 songs to go. I'm off again, and then I'm gonna pour some coffee. So, buy good coffee, no doubt about it. The Copy Levac, if you don't know what it is, it's coffee beans. I hope you can hear what I'm saying. It's coffee beans. Yeah, that was my fat stomach. It's coffee beans that's been eaten. Well, they've fallen on the ground, and it's been eaten by this little animal. I'll find a picture of it on the iPad. So it's been eaten by this little animal, but it can't digest the coffee. So what happens is that the coffee bean is inside the stomach of this kind of little animal. It's sort of a bear monkey thing. I don't know what it is. And so it crawls up into the coffee. Here you have the guy, and you see him eating a coffee bean. This is the guy, and it will be in his stomach. And what the acids in the stomach will do to the coffee is that they will pull out all of the bitterness of the coffee bean. That's the idea. And since the guy can't digest the coffee bean, he will then defecate it whole. And then it looks like this, I'll show you. These are the turds from the guy, and you can see it's not peanuts in it. This is the guy's poo, and the ashtray was on fire. What a day we're having, eh, guys? So, people will pick up the guy's poo, rinse the coffee beans, rinse the poo out, rinse the coffee beans, roast them, churn it, and then you have coffee. It's called Kopi Luwak coffee, and it's the most expensive coffee in the world, or so they say. So I bought a pound of it, and so excuse me, served it up for the guys in my office, and it's good. It's very good. Some of the best coffee I've ever had. But worth the money? No. And you can sort of get the same result by doing a cold brew. If you don't know what cold brew is where you take a pound of coffee and you add 1.5 liters of water to it in a bowl. Just stir it for a while, just 5-6 times, so the water covers everything. Leave the lid on, put a lid on. There needs to be a bowl that can seal tight. That's what I do, at least. And then I leave it for 3 days. I then take another bowl, pour the thing through a sieve. And then it's just because all my coffee stuff is here. And then after that I put it through a normal coffee funnel with a filter. And that sort of gives me a coffee extract. And I put a shot's worth in a mug like this. And about 80 degrees of hot water. Never boiling water on coffee, never boiling hot. Excuse me. Always let the water boil, come to a boil, take it off, and when it stops bubbling, then it's about 85 degrees, and then you can pour it over the coffee. Same thing goes with Nescafe and coffee like that, instant coffee. It gets much better if the water isn't too warm. So there's a little tip for you if you didn't know that. And then you have, if you've done what I just did with the cold brew, you have one of the best cups of coffee you ever have. I never drink cold brew with milk. No need to. What the milk does for the coffee normally is it removes the bitterness from the coffee and gives that creamy, round taste. The same thing happens when you cold brew, but you don't need the milk at all. And it's just really, really good. So, and what do you do with the rest of the coffee? Well, I keep it in my fridge. If you have some good coffee and like Kopi Luwak or something like that, and you don't make it all, use all the coffee. Sorry. Put it in the freezer. Seal it up. Put it in the freezer. That's what I do. Dry, not when it's been you added water. So it's just the pure coffee. Also, I use the Turkish, old school. This kind. Very good for a strong cup of coffee in the morning. So you have some espresso, whatever. There you go. I have another one here. This is really good stuff as well. So I like coffee. I don't have a coffee machine. I don't fancy filter coffee too much. It's just not my thing. I guess my pipe is out. I'll quickly relight. One. Hold on 1 second. I know I should rinse it, but I'm only going to smoke a quarter of a bowl. I'll actually smoke some Frogmorton now, just for the fun of it, to compare with the Balkan Sobrani. There we go. That's a good thing with large bowls. You don't have to fill it all up if you just want to have a small, short smoke. But if you want a long one, you can. You can't do that with a small bowl. You can just refill, but you can't. You can't put a lot of tobacco in a small bowl, but you can put a little tobacco in a big bowl. So here we go. Last song. It's very different. So the Balkans are Brian, but so it would be. When you smell the Balkan Sobrani, it smells of leather, cured leather. Like if you go into a store that sells belts and leather stuff. But it also has this deep brown sugar smell, and you can taste it. You can't taste. I guess it has a sort of vanilla aftertaste that I don't like. Not aftertaste, vanilla taste. The Frogmorton. What you can see is that my ashtray is it's a bit. Something's burning down there. Okay, well, it adds to the atmosphere. So I guess we're coming to the end. We're up and the record's almost finished, and it's we're on 59 minutes now. I'm sorry that I rambled a lot. I'm sorry that the record player was acting up, because it's one of those days. Sorry for the noise. I hope you enjoyed hanging out. I did. I haven't done this in a long time, just been able to sit around drinking coffee, smoking my pipe, listening to a nice album, and it really is a nice album. I again what's called. The band is called Opeth, O-P-E-T-H, Opeth. Doesn't mean anything, it's from a book or something. Science fiction book, something about, I think it was a city on a moon or something called Opeth, I think. And the album's called Heritage. So, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for coming to my kitchen. And thank you for listening to my nonsense. The album's finished. So I'm checking out. Thank you. Bye.